Okay. Well, hello everyone. Once again, welcome to the very cozy information session for the PhD in Earth System Science here at UCI. My name is Bao. I'm the current student affairs manager here in the department. I handle basically everything graduate student related for the department. And we have our vice chair for graduate study here, Professor Claudia Chimchix. She will be giving you the presentations on the program. And during the presentation, if you have any questions, feel free to stop us, and then we can go from there. And then at the end, towards around 3:40, 3:45 PST, we will have our current graduate student come in, and you can ask them a question as well. Okay. Any questions so far before we get started? Okay, you can take it away, Claudia.
Okay, thank you, Bao, for the intro. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us from wherever you are. So my name is Claudia Chimchik. I'm a professor here in Earth System Science. I study terrestrial biogeochemistry, mostly in the polar regions, and also kind of how humans are interacting with the carbon cycle. My main tool is radiocarbon. So I'm one of the more lab and field-based faculty here. So our program in Earth System Science is a very diverse program in terms of science and also in terms of composition of our staff and students. Flip to the next page. Okay. So what is Earth System Science? Sounds a little bit clunky. It is a very highly interdisciplinary field that focuses on the Earth as a coupled system and basically how the atmosphere, land, oceans, the cryosphere and life interact as a coupled system to create climate and interact within the system. It's one of the first department that was founded to study the Earth in a coupled way. And we use a really broad range of data and scientific approaches to understand, predict, and solve most urgent environmental problems of our time. So our mission is to contribute through research and teaching to a fundamental scientific understanding of the Earth as a coupled system, to train the next generation of Earth scientists, and to inform and educate policymakers and the public at large. We envision a society that understands the impact of human activities on the global environment and the interactions within the Earth system that preserve the habitability of the planet. So the focus of the department and our research is really interdisciplinary. And so it's very different from a program where you would say, for example, study atmospheric chemistry or atmospheric dynamics, so atmospheric sciences. Here we have groups that do that, but they very strongly interact with groups that study oceans or the land or other parts of the system. Okay, I think next one. Yes. And then so where we are, don't know if you're familiar with California, but it's a very large state, and we're in the bottom left here. You can see the red star. That's our campus. It's one of 10 campuses in the UC system that have graduate programs. We're almost on the beach, so we're a few miles from the coast. It's a very nice Mediterranean climate, easy access to wildlands around us. So even though we live in one of the most densely populated areas in the country, we have a lot of wilderness around us, and you can literally go skiing in the mornings and go to the beach in the afternoon if you have a car. And we're also a very green university, so we've made a lot of efforts to become more carbon neutral as a UC organization, but also specifically UC Irvine. And we're a highly ranked program, so we are one of highly ranked public universities nationwide, and also the highest ranked among the highest ranked departments at UC Irvine. Our mascot is the anteater that you see in the middle. We don't have any anteaters on campus though, just stuffed ones. So it's a great place to live. I came here from somewhere else and I can recommend it. The weather's definitely a major draw. Okay, so what do we study in ESS? The there's 4 groups. One involves physical climate. So that currently incorporates climate dynamics and paleoclimate, oceanography, the cryosphere, and the global hydrological cycle. Then we have biogeochemistry, so carbon, nitrogen, other element cycling in the terrestrial ecosystems and also in the marine ecosystems and their interactions. We have a large group that studies atmospheric chemistry, air pollution, and biosphere atmosphere interactions, with many more interactions with chemistry, and human systems, with a current focus on energy, water, and agriculture, and ecosystem services and sustainability. We use a variety of data products and tools. So we have field studies that span the globe, literally from pole to pole. Many of us use ground-based or airborne or shipborne observations to collect new data or retrieve data sets. We also have a lot of groups that work with satellite or aircraft remote sensing data sets. We have several laboratories that have a number of state-of-the-art research facilities here at UC Irvine in the department and in the school. And then so we go basically from the field to the larger data sets, the remote sensing, and then also the modeling. So we have groups that use models and or write models or even the code behind the models. And there's a new focus on machine learning and computer science with very strong interactions with our engineering programs. Okay, so if you join our program, you would be part of about a large cohort of about 60 or so graduate students, and they frequently interact socially in educational settings and also in community outreach activities. So, for example, we have a retreat for the grad students where they go out and talk about, they do some peer education, have some fun outside, and they also talk about the graduate program and inform the faculty of how we can further improve the program. We have a grad student-led outreach group that goes to local middle schools in underserved communities and supplements geoscience education with middle school teachers. It's a really great program that you can join. And then there's a number of activities within the department, the school, and on campus. There's a large community of graduate students and postdocs on campus. And then specific to our program, we have 5 years of guaranteed funding via various modes of employment. So it includes fellowships, graduate student research positions, and teaching assistantships. We have access to a number of recruitment fellowships if you're interested in applying. We also offer health insurance, including dental and vision, or the university offers that. And we have convenient and affordable on-campus housing. So most of our students and actual faculty and many of the staff live on campus. We also have a peer mentorship program. So if you come in, you get matched with a peer mentor that kind of helps you arrive and get through the first year, and it often develops into longer-term relationships. And we really foster interactions between the different years in our cohorts. And there's a number of professional development opportunities on campus through our departments, through a number of programs that are run by the school and the overall campus that you have access to as well. So anything from kind of grant writing to networking nights.
Yeah, and I just want to quickly add here for the housing. So you are guaranteed 5-year guaranteed funding via employment, but you are also guaranteed to have an offer of campus housing for those 5 years as well. So in the past, actually, our programs are 5 years, but in the past, the campus only offer guaranteed housing for 4 years. So during the 5th year, you kind of have to go and find your own housing. But now, starting last year or 2 years ago, campus has changed that, and now you are guaranteed an offer of housing for all 5 years that you are here. So you don't have to go look for your own housing during your last year anymore.
Yeah, and that means you have access to transportation. So we have a shuttle system, or you can bike or walk to many places on campus. It's a really great recreation center with a pool. So it's a campus university where you can easily reach all parts of the campus from the housing. Okay, so in terms of requirements, in the program, students must complete a minimum of 9 graduate level classes. So we have several core classes, specifically the global physical climatology, humans in the Earth science or Earth system, global biogeochemical cycles, and the practicum. The practicum is a class where you learn how to write a scientific proposal and then also defend it to the whole department. And so it involves an oral presentation of your research proposal that often focuses on what you're going to do in summer of year 1 or maybe in your first chapter. And it teaches you writing and presentation skills. And then we also require 5 graduate level electives, some of which can be taken outside. So if you are into machine learning, you can supplement these classes with courses in other departments, or if you more in the biology realm, you could take classes in the School of Biology. So we have many interactions and other graduate classes that you can access through the program. The 4 classes, the core classes, are taken in year 1 typically, and then you can add electives in year 1, and then usually students finish their electives in year 2, sometimes in year 3, if the elective is not offered every year. Students must pass a comprehensive exam in year 1. So we have in addition to passing the classes, we have an exam that is to be completed in year 1. It used to be a written exam with specific questions, and we're probably transferring that to a slightly different format, but it's still the same requirement of an exam. So that focuses on the core classes. So I think you're very well prepared for that exam if you take the classes. And our classes are fairly broad, and the point of it is that our cohorts involve students that come from lots of different fields. So we commonly have students that have a background in geoscience, but also in physics or in math or in biology. So we have majors coming in from lots of different fields, and we run them through our core classes to give them a solid understanding of the Earth as a coupled system. So at the end of year 1, you should all be able to comfortably talk about the Earth as a coupled system, and then you use the electives to supplement the more specific knowledge that you need for your specific research. So it's both has this core component, and it has flexibility to help you along with your research. Our students also receive an en route master's degree once coursework and the comprehensive exams are completed. And then if you continue to the PhD, you would in year 2 advance to candidacy. So this is another exam where you basically write a proposal and you defend that proposal to a group of faculty. And after you pass that exam, you become a candidate in the program and focus on your research. Okay. And then that ends with basically the defense and the submission of your written dissertation in year 5, typically. And throughout this period, you're also required to serve as a teaching assistant, and this is helpful to give you broader core knowledge of the field, but also explore your teaching skills, given that a lot of careers in science and academia have a teaching component or a focus on teaching, and it connects you to the undergrad population and also other faculty, because you're typically not TAing for your PI, for your direct mentor. And the TA requirements are for a minimum of 2 quarters. Okay, and then specifically for admission requirements, we require transcripts from current and previous institutions. We don't have a GRE requirement anymore. We like to see 3 letters of recommendation. They should be from individuals who can speak about your ability to succeed in graduate school. So they can be a mix of academic and other individuals. If you have other skills that you'd like to highlight, we need 3 of those. And then there should be a statement of purpose that describes your long-term career goals and research interests, and basically why you want to pursue a PhD and what you're hoping to do with that, and how it fits, how your goals fit with the opportunities that you're hoping to have in our program. And then there's also a personal history statement required. That is an opportunity for you to speak about who you are as a person rather than as a student or a future scientist. And then we also have an English language requirement. So you have to come in with specific scores, potentially depending on where you received your undergrad education. And we also have language requirements once you're here. And that's the university rule. So that's for all incoming grad students. In terms of timeline, our admission begins in December 1. I think the application is open now. And we, in addition to applying through the system, we very strongly recommend that you reach out by email to any faculty member that you're interested in working with. And then you could mention that you had interactions with those faculty in your application. We will start reviewing application on December 1st. And then we make a list of students who we will invite to graduate visit day, which will be in early February. And then we will make admission offers after that from kind of mid-February to April. Yeah, and so if you're wondering what our students do, so we have because our department is so interdisciplinary, our students go in all kinds of different careers, and we just like to show you a group here from our current alumni. So we have Diane Sanchez here. She graduated in 2019 and is currently a specialist at the South Coast Air Management District, working on air pollution and air pollution regulation. We have Zach Laib. He graduated in 2020. He is a postdoc at NOAA and also at Princeton University. We have Jessica Wang, who also graduated in 2020. She became a professor at Bellevue College in Washington. We have Joya Hay. She graduated in 2021 and is now a postdoc in the University of Idaho. Matt Laffin, so I'm going from left to right here. Matt Laffin got his PhD in 2020 and works as a meteorologist at Worldview. And Gracie Wong is most recent in this list, graduated this year and is now an air pollution specialist at the California Air Resources Board. So we have students who go into private industry, into academia towards the professor track, the research track, and then also a lot of public entities like the state agencies or federal agencies, national labs, and so on. So we don't expect our students to all end up in a specific career. So like we're not just trying to create clones of future professors. It's definitely an option, highly encouraged, but we also work with each student to find their career path and then try to provide opportunities for students to make progress towards that career. So when you're coming in, you might have a clear idea what you want to be, and then you realize you're actually really good at teaching, or you really like the lab work, or so on. And so it's okay to have these transitions, and we try to work with each student to really hone in on those skills and find a career track that makes sense and offers long-term satisfaction with the career. Yeah, and then as part of the UC and also here at UC Irvine, we take this concept of inclusive excellence really seriously. So we have a very diverse and dynamic student cohort and overall department. And so UCI also has a really strong highly diverse undergraduate population. So we're one of few UCs that are designated Hispanic serving institutions and also Asian American, Native American, Pacific Islander serving institutions. So we have these we have enough students and provide enough resources for students to earn these special designations. We were ranked number 3 recently in the nation for diversity by a number of newspapers. And we're also among the top public universities for upward social mobility. So we have a lot of low-income students and provide great career opportunities for those. The commitment to diversity is not just in our admission, but also in supporting students who come here to find their way and actually be successful once they're in. So we have a number of different programs that you can become involved in or benefit from. We have the Decade program, which is a diverse educational community and doctoral experience program that provides mentoring to faculty who then basically try to improve career degree, greater satisfaction with the degree program, and also help students to complete the program. So they might host workshops with a number of different things. So I did this for a couple of years. And for example, we had workshops on anything from specific technical skills like scientific writing, but also time management workshops and workshops on how to successfully interact with your advisors or your peers that were supported by graduate division, where the counselors from campus would come in and run workshops with us. So a number of different programs can be run through that. It's very flexible. We have the Competitive Edge program, which provides extra funding to bring students onto campus before they start their PhD in the summer to become familiar with the campus and also improve certain skills that might need to be supplemented. We have strong partnerships with a number of bridge programs, including AGU, so the American Geophysical Union. This allows students to apply to a pool and we are one of the inaugural partners for this program. So we recruit students from this program, and we also work with the Cal States to bring in transfer students. We also have a SACNAS chapter, and UCI has recently started a Black Thriving initiative that is also bringing in undergrads, graduate students, and faculty to the campus and making it easier and more successful for more diverse students to be and excel at UCI. So there's a number of different programs, but overall we try to make this part of everything we do. So from the classes to the daily interactions in the lab to programs in the department, it's a core part of everything we do. So there's more programs than the ones I just mentioned. Okay, and now I talked enough, and it's your opportunity to ask questions and then meet our graduate students.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, feel free to unmute yourself, ask your questions, comments, or put them in the chat. And I think the graduate students will be here in about, I want to say 5 to 10 minutes. Any questions? So the first question from June said, is this a year-round program or a 9-month program? So I'm assuming you mean if you are expected to make progress in the summer. Claudia, you want to touch on this a little bit?
Yes, so this is a interesting question at the moment, but so you will be expected to make progress over the summer. So the requirements are, or the expected time to degree is 5 years, and the summer is a key part of that timeline. So most of our students are fully focused on their thesis work in the summer. So for example, I take my students often to the field. We collect samples or other data and then analyze them the remaining time of the year. Other groups might go on cruises, on boats to collect samples, or you might do an internship to learn a specific skill, to run a model, or to learn how to access remote sensing data. So it's a key part of the program.
Would any classes be in the summer, or is it strictly thesis work? So there are no course requirement during the summer, but like Professor Shimshik mentions, a lot of progress are made in different ways. For example, some students might run models in the summer, go to field work, doing internships, and so on.
Yeah, a lot of writing, uninterrupted writing time can be done in the summer. So summer is often busier than the rest of the year, but it also allows for more focused work. So definitely year-round program.
Does fully funded means the student do not pay tuition fee? Yes, that's correct. So tuition and fees are covered by either your fellowships or by employment. But there's some caveats. So there are certain deadlines that students also need to meet in order to receive their funding. So it is fully funded, but also the student had to meet some deadline about. There's some nuances, like sign up for classes, or getting your being in good academic standing is one of them, and so on.
Yeah, and there's a couple of fees that sometimes I do. For example, when you advance, right, there's a fee for the exam that is administered through campus. So and also for the thesis, there are certain points, but it's nothing like an undergraduate degree. Okay, do students get admitted under one of the 4 specializations, or are those flexible after admission? So it's both. So most of our students, I would say, come in with a specific idea of what they want to do, and they kind of get matched with faculty in that group. However, we also have students who fit in between or into multiple, and we just encourage you to pick one during the admission process, and then you could use your statements to express interest in more than one. So if you're fascinated by everything Earth and you'd like to experience a variety of things, or work on interactions between different compartments specifically, then you should point that out in your application, and we try to have your application read by faculty in both of those fields. And in general, so we have some students at the moment that are co-advised by multiple professors, so maximum 2. And that makes sense sometimes, but it's not the norm, and it's not often beneficial to the student, because you have to go to like double the group meetings and get double the feedback, and sometimes conflicting advice. So we usually encourage students to find one home and one PI, and then you have a committee, and the committee is made up of other faculty who can also be really important mentors for you. They don't necessarily have to be co-authors on chapters and publications that you write, but you have access to other faculty even if you decide on one specific group. And that's really a key feature of our department. So we have very easy flow of information and mentoring between different groups. So you're not locked into a specific field. We want you to talk to students and faculty and researchers in other fields, and come to the seminars that are not specifically on your topic. I think that's the main difference between our program and many other programs. And sometimes in the past, we had students come in and then realize that they're in the wrong group. And we also, I how I say that, intellectually in the wrong group, like nothing to do with the people. So they just realized that the work that they thought was what they wanted to do wasn't the perfect fit. And so we also have a mechanism for those students to find a different group, and that has often worked in the past. So I've had a student, for example, who started in a different group, and then after the first year, the student transitioned. So, but it doesn't happen often, but it is possible.
Yeah, so you do come in with a provisional advisor, but like Professor Simchik mentions, if it turned out that you're not in a good fit with that group, that advisor, we can help you find a better fit for you.
Yeah, so we still operate under the purview that you're admitted to the program. So we try to make it work for the students and the advisors to find the right home. And like I said, you have a committee, so you have access to more than one mentor.
So do you know what's the average price range discount for graduate housing at UCI is? That I'm not sure. That is set by the housing office, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the information each year don't come out until, I want to say, January. But also there are different type of accommodation to fit different price ranges as well for housing. So we will know more about housing come early next calendar year from housing office.
Yeah, and they have various housing options. So we have family housing on campus. We also have if you don't need that, then you'll be matched with another student, and it usually works.
Yeah, and if you're not interested in on-campus housing, the housing office also have I think platform for you to find off-campus housing as well. So you're not entirely on your own in terms of how help with
Yeah, and it's not a requirement to live on campus. So if you can either find other people in the program or on campus or outside the university or be on your own. So there's lots of options.
Any other questions? Okay, if there's no other questions for now, one of our current graduate students here, Juan, hi Juan. I will hand you guys off to Juan.
Hello.
And he can give you, the perspective of what it's like to be an actual student.
Yeah, and
program.
I'd like to thank you all for coming and asking questions and being interested in the program. And if you have any questions, like, feel free to email me or Bao, and then also get in touch with any faculty in the program. And so research wise, you can contact me or the other faculty, and the specific program question, then Bao is probably the best person to do that.
Yeah,
But
so
we
the
look
email
forward
you see on screen will go straight to my inbox. This email is also on our website, which the link is there, or you can just Google UCI ESS and you will find our page in the first link. Yeah. Anything else you want to add, Claudia?
No. Well, thank you.
Okay.
Right. Thank Juan for being here.
Hi.
Okay.
All
Well, let me give you host privilege, and then I will let you take over.